You are standing above Broadway in the late 1880s, and the rain has turned New York into a machine of wet brick, iron, and wire. Above your head, the sky is tangled with lines that do not announce which one can kill you. One wrong touch could end the job before it begins. Before electricity became ordinary, it was public wonder and public fear at the same time. The city wanted brighter streets, faster communication, and the feeling of progress. The men sent into the wires inherited the danger before the rules caught up. Your assignment sounds simple. Find the failing line, separate it from the others, tie it off, and keep the system working. But the wire does not tell you its owner, its voltage, or what it touched 3 blocks away. There is no safety harness, no modern tester, no insulated gloves you can trust. The only barrier between you and the current is distance, judgment, and the hope that someone below understood the same system you are climbing into. Below you, Manhattan keeps moving as if the danger is only weather. Shops open. Men hurry under awnings. Wagons grind through mud. Almost nobody on the street can see which wire above them is harmless and which one is alive. The first enemy is confusion. By the end of the 1880s, New York's air carried telegraph, telephone, alarm, and electric lighting lines, often crowded into the same visual maze. A worker had to read danger inside disorder. Arc lighting could require powerful currents carried high above crowded streets. Communications wires were not supposed to become killing lines. But when systems touched, failed, or shorted together, the category of a wire could change without warning. Rain makes the city shine from below. From up here, it makes every surface suspicious. Water runs over iron brackets, copper, wood, brick, and your own sleeve, building invisible paths you may not notice until your body completes them. Your body is now part of the problem. If one hand meets a live conductor and your boot finds a path to ground, the current does not care that you are careful. It only takes the route you give it. To the public, electric light looked like victory over darkness. To the lineman, it was a hard white glare fed by wires that could punish a mistake instantly. The miracle had a maintenance crew, and the crew was exposed. There is no quiet above Broadway. Bells, vendors, steam, rain, and the street below blur together. Somewhere inside that noise, a line may be humming, arcing, or leaking current where it should not. The ladder shakes before you reach the roof. Wetwood twists under your boots. A gust pulls your coat sideways, and the wire above you sways just enough to remind you it has weight. Your first survival decision is physical, not electrical. Do you climb fast before the storm worsens, or slowly enough to keep 3 points of contact? In this job, fear and balance are part of the same calculation. At the roofline, the street disappears. The world becomes brick, smoke, wire, and a narrow place for your feet. There is no heroic space here, only inches. You are told to untangle the line with tools that look primitive beside the danger. Hemp rope, a wooden handle, an iron hook, a knife, and your judgment. Nothing about the equipment feels equal to the power above you. Hemp rope gives you distance, but not certainty. If dry, it may help you control the line without touching it. If soaked, it becomes another thing you must distrust. Every movement must be planned before it happens. Reach too far, and your shoulder can brush one line while your hand steadies against another. The gap between survival and disaster may be smaller than your arm. The wires are not arranged like a clean diagram. They vanish behind chimneys, reappear above windows, wrap around brackets, and cross from impossible angles. The city has become a machine no single worker fully controls. The copper gleams in the rain. It is beautiful in the worst possible way. Every bright line looks like a warning, and none of them come with a label you can trust. To survive, you must think like the current. It seeks the easiest path. It does not hate you, and it does not spare you. That indifference is what makes it terrifying. You search for porcelain insulators, sagging lines, broken tie points, and places where wet surfaces touch. These small details decide whether a line is controlled, leaking, or waiting to use you. Now you see the problem. One line has fallen too close to another. Separate it, secure it, and do it without becoming the shortest route to Earth. The foreman shouts from below, but his words break apart in the rain. At this height, authority becomes guesswork. Your next hand placement is yours alone. In this world, courage can get you killed. The careful man survives longer than the brave one. But the company, the crowd, and the failing light do not pay you to hesitate forever. Your second survival decision is timing. Wait for the rain to ease, and the line may fall lower. Move now, and every wet surface may be helping the current find you. Electricity arrived faster than the city's protections. Companies fought for space in the air. Lines multiplied, and by the late 1880s, public officials and newspapers were increasingly alarmed by the overhead danger. New Yorkers feared what they could see but not understand. Wires sagging near windows, hanging after storms, and crossing above the places where adults worked, walked, and slept. The danger is not only voltage. It is ownership, weather, bad maintenance, abandoned lines, and assumptions. Too many systems share the same sky, and you must make sense of all of it while standing inside it. From the street, a wire looks thin. In your hands, it feels heavy, dirty, and unpredictable. It can slide, snag, whip, or pull your balance toward the edge. Your third survival decision is distance. The safest wire is the one you do not touch. But the job exists because distance is no longer enough. The pole creaks. The wind pushes the cable into a slow sway. You cannot outrun a mistake up here. You can only avoid giving the mistake a place to start. Imagine solving a deadly puzzle while a city watches from below. Every face in the street becomes pressure. Every second of hesitation feels public. If something goes wrong, help cannot reach you quickly. A man in the wires is isolated by height, weather, and the fear that keeps others from climbing after him. Now the repair begins. You loop the rope, not around victory, but around uncertainty. The knot must hold, yet not pull the cable into a new point of contact. A simple knot becomes a survival instrument. It must obey your intention even while your hands are wet, cold, and shaking. You test the line with pressure, not certainty. It shifts against the bracket. For 1 second, the whole repair depends on friction, wood grain, and the strength left in your grip. If the wire slips, it may strike another conductor. If you grab it by instinct, your body may become the missing connection. The hardest order is the one you give your own hand. Do not reach. This is the hardest part of survival, fighting reflex. The body wants to catch falling things. The mind must remember that in this place, touching can be fatal. One touch, that is the whole terror of the job. Not a battle, not an explosion, not a monster, just a human hand too close to the wrong line. But the danger did not stay on rooftops. Storms could bring wires down into streets, across rails, against building fronts, and near the feet of people who had no idea what had fallen. To survive as a worker, you must also protect strangers. Panic is dangerous. Curiosity is dangerous. A crowd leaning closer to see the new technology can become part of the emergency. The safest choice may be to wait until the line is isolated. But in the late 1880s, isolation was not always fast, visible, or reliable. A switch somewhere else could decide whether you lived here. Some systems had procedures. Some had confusion. The worker in the field lived between what the company believed and what the weather had already changed. Back above Broadway, the line finally separates. Not safely, not perfectly, just enough for the repair to continue. Survival often feels less like victory than permission to breathe for one more minute. You still must secure the line. A loose repair can fail after you climb down, and another man may pay for the mistake you leave behind. This job turns engineering into moral pressure. The city wants power. The company wants speed. The public wants light. Your body absorbs the risk created by all of them. Then comes the sound every worker fears, a dry crackle from somewhere you cannot see. It may be nothing. It may be rain finding a contact point. It may be a line feeding current into a place that looks harmless. The worst dangers are the ones that do not identify themselves. Your fourth survival decision is withdrawal. Can you admit the job is too dangerous before pride, pressure, or orders push you one step beyond the last safe choice? History often remembers invention as progress, but progress has a shadow. Before systems become safe, workers become the experiment. The deadliest part of this world is not simply that electricity is powerful. It is that people are still learning where the power is, how it travels, and how little warning it gives. After the Great Storm of 1888 and the public wire panics that followed, New York's overhead systems became a symbol of a city modernizing faster than it could protect itself. Newspapers and officials increasingly demanded answers. How could a city celebrate electric light while men died maintaining the lines that made it possible. Over time, pressure grew to move more wires underground. But reform is slow when money, technology, courts, and companies all pull in different directions. For the worker on the roof, change comes too late for tonight. The rain is still here. The line is still failing. The roof is still waiting beneath your boots. History may change later, but survival is always immediate. You check your footing again. You keep one hand away whenever possible. You avoid becoming a bridge. Survival is not strength here. Survival is understanding what must never touch. The final connection is secured. The line holds. The light below steadies. Nobody in the crowd understands how close the city came to losing another man in the sky. Your hands are numb. Your coat is soaked. Your muscles shake from holding still more than from moving. Fear has weight, and you have been carrying it for every second. You climb down slowly because the last mistake can happen after the dangerous work feels finished. Wet ladders do not care that you survive the wire. When your boots reach the street, New York looks different. The wires are still above everyone. The danger has not disappeared. You have only stepped out of it. Could you have done it? Could you climb into the wet sky of Manhattan, trust a rope, read the wires, fight your reflexes, and keep your hand away from the one touch that ends everything? The past does not forgive curiosity, pride, or panic. It rewards the rare person who can stay calm when an entire city becomes a live machine. And in 1880s New York, survival might come down to the smallest decision of all, not touching what the city told you to fix.